What is up, YouTube? We are back with another video. We are with week 4 of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. She was spazzing in this chapter as well. There's mainly like 3 things she was talking about. The first thing is really just anger and how basically people such as myself and you guys, we're trying to be on this path, this artistic path. We're trying to journal, we're trying to tend to ourselves, we're trying to clear out all this BS that's blocking us. While we're tending to ourselves, we're gonna talk about some, I'm okay right now, I'm fine. But like how that relates back to anger and stuff, bro, you're not fine. Like, what does that even mean? What does fine mean? What does okay mean? Like, that's not an emotion. Like, you need to get specific. Okay? Being okay, being fine doesn't mean nothing. Are you upset? Are you happy? Are you vibing? Are you pissed off? Are you kind of sad, low key? Are you going through it? Be specific what you're going through. Especially when it's just to yourself. In The Artist's Way, I know I kind of don't really talk about it in these videos. I probably brushed on it briefly, but Julia Cameron, she talks about morning pages and just, writing a few pages to yourself every morning before you do anything. Just to, unload the stuff that's on your mind, maybe put down some agendas for the day, maybe just talk about how you're feeling, just tending to yourself type stuff. I need to talk about this more in future videos, but she was talking about a lot in this video, or in this chapter. And yeah, when you are writing, you need to be honest with yourself. This is for you, and only you are seeing it. So why are you lying to yourself? Why are you being honest? Talk about how you really feel, because on the other side of those emotions, there's always something that can be attained that will benefit you. So why are you denying yourself that gift? You feel me? It reminds me of Inside Out. The first one, so good, bro. Came out forever ago. But there's a purpose for all 5 of them, bro. Disgust and fear, they're like protecting you and stuff from people you don't like, food you don't like, dangerous situations, stuff like that. They're protecting you. Anger, the third one, freaking just when stuff isn't going your way and it could be done better, that's usually where anger comes in. And if you handle that, if you not change the anger, but respond appropriately to that anger, your life could change and you can get something going the way you would like it. Happiness is for when you're doing something good, when something feels good. And I'm not talking about no addictive stuff that's draining. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the good stuff, the lifelong stuff that you actually care about. When stuff like that happens, it makes you feel good so that you want to do it again. It's going to be a good time. And then, what was the last one? Sadness. Sadness is the last one. At the end of the movie, I'm going to spoil it because I know y'all had to have seen it. This movie's old. But sadness, the reason for sadness is to know that you need help. To let people know. You have visible tears coming down your face. People know that you need help. And people are there to help you. That's what community is. That's what friends are for. That's what family is for. That's what it's for. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be embarrassed. I don't care who you are. Everybody cries. Everybody be going through stuff. Let people help you. You don't have to take the whole world on your shoulders by yourself. Like, that's what community is for. Trust and rely upon them. And what goes around comes around, bro. I think that's beautiful. And yeah, it just ties all back to just be honest with yourself. Because there's always a benefit to reap when you just be honest with yourself and tend to yourself and what you feel and why you feel that way and what to do to appropriately address that emotion. That's the first thing Julia Cameron was talking about. The second thing she was talking about in this particular chapter was basically just how in this process, in this life, while you're trying to get better and you know and you understand you're on the path of trying to get rid of these blocks and you're trying to do your thing as a creative, as an artist, you'll consciously know that you have to do these things, but sometimes certain things in life will happen that'll get you lost in the sauce, and next thing you know, you're not tending to yourself. You're not caring for yourself. You're not writing. You're not journaling. You feel me? What are these things in life that might pull you out of that? Falling in love. You know, this person has so much time of you, and you're self-sabotaging yourself because you're not setting boundaries, and now you don't have time to tend to yourself and journal and write and be clear and concise with how you're really feeling and really thinking. What else happened? You're busy. That's another thing that Julia Cameron was talking about, and how like people use the excuse of being too busy very often as to why they're not writing, journaling, tending to themselves, and being clear and concise with what they need and want and have to do in their goals. But she would argue that basically the reason you're in that predicament in the first place is because you're not writing, because you're not journaling, because you're not taking care of yourself. Because someone who's doing that can see like, this saves me time. This lets me vent, and this lets me prioritize what I really care about to do today. So me not doing that is a disservice to myself. It's an attack on myself and what I care about and what I aspire to do and what I aspire to be. So yeah, she was talking about just how don't let yourself fall into that, just like comfortable vortex of just being okay with everything. It ties back to the first thing I said you was talking about this chapter of, not being clear and concise with how you really feel, just being okay with being okay and just going with the flow. You're not really trying to take the reins of anything. You're just letting wherever life pushes you is where life pushes you, and you're not going to respond. And then all that happens, and you let that happen for X amount of time, and then you regain consciousness and control, and you're like, dang, I wasn't steering myself in a direction I even wanted to go. You need to hold on to those reins and not let go. You feel me? The stuff that you mess with, tend to that. The stuff you don't care for, you need to get rid of that. Stop being comfortable. If people are wasting your time and they don't really benefit you in any way, shape, or form, and that might sound selfish, but we have limited time on this earth, you feel me? There's billions of people on this planet, and if someone can't serve you in some way, shape, or form, they have to go. I'm not talking about just feel good like in the moment. I'm talking about like what you care about, your dreams. If they're not motivating you, if they're not, trying to uplift you, if they're trying to inspire you, give you advice, put you on game, like what are you doing, bro? Like they're wasting your time. And respectfully, they have to go, bro. Lovingly and respectfully, there's someone out there for them, but it's not you. So do what you gotta do, bro. Don't be afraid to get uncomfortable, because on the other side of that discomfort is usually the stuff that you care about. Like every single time you see a creative person or an artist that inspires you, they're really the exact same as you. The only difference is they weren't afraid to get a little bit uncomfortable, or if they were afraid, they didn't let that stop them. That's the only difference between you and them, is they kept moving past these blocks, and they got far. You feel me? That was the second thing Julia Cameron was talking about. Now we're on to the third. Final thing she was talking about this chapter was basically just the role of community. You feel me? There's people that care about you. There's yeah, not to sound like a broken record, but there's people that care about you, and there's, you have creative friends, or at least I hope you do. And the world, unfortunately, beats down on creative people, and so every creator probably has, self-doubt and self-sabotaging tendencies. So y'all could literally be in this bit together and pushing each other and inspiring each other to do better. You can see your friends work like, damn, they're getting better. They're doing more stuff, more artist type stuff than what they used to. And they could reaffirm the same thing about you if you're really working on yourself. Dang, dude, you're literally doing so good at, like, you're getting better. Like, you're doing stuff. You're expressing yourself. You're allowing yourself to feel. You feel me? You're taking care of yourself and letting that just like exponentially help you grow. Taking care of yourself and just expressing yourself. Taking care of yourself, expressing yourself over and over. And y'all could just bounce off each other like that. You feel me? Yeah. That's basically it. I know the third thing she was talking about was a little short, but that's really it. Sorry this video's a little longer. She was just really spazzing in this video. It's currently 2:58 in the morning. I'm on my lunch break. I need to get back to work soon, so I'm gonna end the video. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I was just talking about the community aspect, so don't be shy, bro. Like, literally comment, like, how are things going for you? I'd love to hear it. Like, I'm so serious. I'd love to hear it. And if I don't get back to it, y'all can respond to each other. Like, it's not just between me and you guys. There's also the wall between you guys. I want y'all to be cool with each other. So, yeah. I already said it, but if you made it to the end of this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys next week for week 5 of The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.